This week I want to learn something completely new, so I'm taking a trip to Amsterdam to meet with Rodrigues from Unreal.
So we create basically things for movies and TV shows and theater. You might know this guy. This is a guy that we did for a company called Wetter Workshop in New Zealand. It was for the Lord of the Rings.
But today he took a break from working on these kind of projects to share a bit of his expertise with us. Now, you've seen the thumbnail, so you can probably guess what's about to happen. He started with some clay on a flat surface to begin sculpting the wound for my face.
The most important part of this process really is to create like a fine blend, and then the sculpture starts from basically nothing until, you know, a certain thickness.
He worked on the shape all the way down to the finest details of skin pores. After covering it with silicone, that created an inverted version of the sculpture to use as a mould. Then by pouring more silicone into that and scraping away the excess, he basically had a silicone version of the original sculpture. After adding some glue, he stuck it to some transfer paper so it could be applied just like those temporary tattoos for kids. But before that, he had to clean any oils from my skin and add some glue. Then he peeled off the plastic and stuck the prosthetic to my face.
That there.
With a watery cloth, the paper separates from the silicone.
And then I take off the cloth and then carefully I can peel off the paper.
Just needed a bit of touching up to glue the edges down, and now he could start blending.
And blending it is basically taking the edge off with some more alcohol. And then we can see that it doesn't quite match the skin tone yet. It's not bad, but we need to add a little bit more color. So we use a lot of alcohol-based palettes. So what it means is you use alcohol to activate the color. You can do it with a toothbrush to splatter, or you can buy like really expensive brushes. But toothbrush works fine.
But someone could take regular makeup and apply it with a toothbrush and it would look...
Yeah, you could even actually take regular makeup and dilute it with alcohol. And what you want is you want to have an alcohol that's very high in percentage. So it could be like a 99% isopropyl alcohol, for example. You can do a fantastic sculpt, but if you then do a very crappy job in coloring it, then it's not going to look right. So all these little steps have to work in your favor.
Would you say that you're like living the dream, that this is like when you're a kid and when you're imagining what it was to be like, is this like as amazing as you'd imagined?
A lot of times when people don't know what it is you really do and you tell them about it, they only see the glitter and the glamour, right. But really that's, you know, maybe like 1% of what we do. You know, they go like, yeah, but you work with famous actors, you know, and you walk on these cool movie sets. But what they forget is that most of our time is spent here in the workshop just creating the stuff, which is what we like, but it's just really hard work. So basically what I'm doing now is I'm gonna create the illusion that this wound is a little deeper than it really is. And I do that by going along the edges on the inside of the wound and using quite a dark color. And then I'm gonna do a little bit of the fat tissue, and fat tissue is kind of like a little bit yellowish color. What we find a lot is, you know, when it's a job where it involves a design and people come to you and they don't know what they need, a lot of times you'll do a design and go like, no, this is not what we mean. And then you go like a whole route, and then in the end you come back to the first design that's really not much different, and you go, yeah, that's it, you know. So we find a lot that
they just wanted to feel like they had some influence.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
And sometimes you have to kind of play along just to make your own life more comfortable, you know. Okay, so basically this is now the wound colored. The inside is colored. And there's quite a few different colors in it. And then what I will do now is I will add a little bit of blood paste.
Now you can buy fake blood or do what Rahir does and make it yourself with stuff you can find in the kitchen. There are plenty of recipes online.
And And basically, to make the paste, what I do is I just use a little bit of Vaseline, and I add the blood to it, and that's all. Then you have like a little bit of a thicker blood paste. It's all smoke and mirrors, so you want to use a lot of different little tricks to sell your illusion. All right, and then if you take like this is like a coarse black sponge. You can get it from an aquarium shop. Things like this, you can do like a streak.
So you could give someone a graze.
Exactly, just like that.
That looks very good, yeah.
So after using the thicker Vaseline blood, he then applied some regular fake blood for the final touch.
And then to learn all of these skills?
It's just trial and error, really. Like, I didn't go to school to learn this. I mean, nowadays there are schools and there's YouTube tutorials. And I think it gets you it gets you to a certain point. But I think just really doing it yourself and making mistakes really makes you think about how things are done, and then you get your own techniques, and that's really what this job is about. It's about problem solving. Like I had a job where we need to build a dolphin, and they came to us and they said, "Have you ever done a dolphin?" We're like, "No, we've never done one. Can you do it?" "Yeah, sure, we can do it." And then then your brain starts to work, and you talk to colleagues and you kind of make a plan, and then when it works, then that's the real kick you get out of it. Here we go, and that's it. Open your eyes.
Oh my goodness. That is serious. Dang. It looks like, I don't know, that is just, I don't know what to say.
And so there it is, the final result. I, for one, am incredibly impressed with the colour, the depth, the detail. So big thanks to Rodrigues and Unreal for having us. Oh, and I'm curious to hear what you think of this different style of video, so feel free to leave a comment. My name's Cade, this has been DSLRguide, and I'll see you next week.